Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, baby, and we got a prediction video for you today. UFC 289, Nunes versus Aldana, and we're going to be talking about the main and co-main event of the evening here today. First, we're going to get into Charles Do Bronx Oliveira and Beneil Dariush. Huge fight in the lightweight division. Championship implications are through the roof with this one. As far as title eliminators go, I believe this fight, and as well as Poirier and Gaethje, are probably both considered title eliminator fights. Beneil Dariush is on the run of a lifetime. He's been dominating fights. He's on a big win streak. He had to pull out against Islam Makhachev when he was scheduled to face him, and that may have halted his ability to propel himself into a championship fight. But he came back against Mateusz Gamrot, and I believe he was an underdog in that fight, and he absolutely demolished Gamrot. A beautiful performance for Beneil, and I thought he probably should have been in a title fight anyway after that, but they're making him go the hard route because he's not the most marketable guy, and that's okay because he's still in a huge fight here. I think this is clearly the people's main event this weekend. He's going to be facing the former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira won the title after Khabib retired, went through Chandler to do so, Michael Chandler, then he beat Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and then he wound up. Did he beat anybody else in a title fight? I believe that's it. And then he faced Islam Makhachev and fell short. He just didn't look the same there. Had a couple holes in his defense that have been there. And a problem with Charles is he gets hit a lot. So he walks forward, he raises the leg, he comes forward, he tries to get in your face, and he got cracked and knocked down by Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje. None of those guys really wanted to follow him to the ground, whereas Islam obviously would not have a problem doing so. Islam is not as good of a striker as Poirier or Gaethje was, but he did something that is, I think, a key to beating Charles Oliveira if you're going to beat him. A key to Charles Oliveira is to not be afraid to go into his guard after you hurt him. Now, that is a scary prospect because he's one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in all of the UFC, and he could easily tie you up in a knot if you come down there, and it'll be a short night for you. But it's the risk you have to take. Because if you allow this man to keep getting to his feet with no resistance after he's dropped or after he gets down there one way or the other, if you allow him to keep getting up, he's eventually going to be able to implement his game plan on you. So what he was doing wrong against Islam is he was coming into range and just not having his hands in a good defensive position. And he got cracked with a hook from Islam, and Islam followed him right down and got him in a head and arm choke and ended it. Poirier and Gaethje would drop him, and then they would proceed to let him back up. And eventually they both got tired, and Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier both suffered the same fate. Beneil Dariush is a very well-rounded fighter, great grappling, heavy-handed striker. And I see this fight going in the way of Beneil Dariush being able to land heavy shots on Charles on the feet, and then I think that Charles will not present the fear factor from the bottom position to Beneil, because I don't think Beneil is worried about grappling with Charles. So I believe that it will be Beneil by KO in this fight. I think that he'll be able to rock Charles and go finish the job. And I definitely think that Beneil Dariush should be top tier priority to step into the octagon and fight for the world championship in his next performance. Doesn't matter what happens in Chandler McGregor, the battle of the journeyman. Doesn't matter what happens in Gaethje and Poirier, great fight, awesome fight, but neither of those guys should be above Beneil, and I think Poirier's even said that. So yeah, I think Beneil Dariush gets it done, and he should be fighting Islam Makhachev later this year if all things go how they should. On to the main event, Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Irene's last fight, she landed a beautiful up kick from the bottom position to the liver and was able to finish Macy Chiasson. Amanda Nunes got her revenge on Juliana Pena. I really do believe that Amanda maybe just didn't expect the resistance she got from Juliana the first time, or maybe slacked off a little and just didn't think she had to take Juliana as serious as she did. She eventually wound up finding out she had to. And in the second fight, she just absolutely demolished Juliana Pena. Pieced her up, made it look like an amateur in there. And when she was scheduled to face Pena again, I like Juliana a lot, and I like the ferocity she brings, but she's just a pathetic striker. Like, let's be honest. She has good grappling. She's a very strong, tough woman, but her striking is just pathetic. She literally just does this, runs in a straight line forward, does not move her head, and hopes for the best. And Amanda made it clear as day last time that she could just pop out of range and crack her with a right hand over and over and over again, and really left Juliana having nothing for her. And Amanda, when she's on, is very, very, very dangerous. But is she on? She's got a lot going on. She's had a long career. She's already a legend. She's not the greatest women's fighter of all time. We're not going to spew the propaganda that every other channel and every other network spews. She's not the greatest women's fighter of all time. Let's stop with that. But she's a legend. She's one of the greatest women's fighters of all time. And, is she turned on for this fight? Is she ready to go? As far as Irene Aldana, she hasn't been very active. She hasn't really fought much at all. I think she's had like 3 fights in 4 years or something like that. And she got pretty much pieced up by Holly Holm when they fought. She did knock out Ketlin Vieira, but like I'm saying, like, it was a long time ago. Irene's a good striker. I believe this fight will be similar to the Amanda Nunes title defense against GDR, where she was able to use her timely takedowns and steal rounds that way. I think Amanda Nunes wins this fight by decision. I think that she will use her grappling a lot in this fight, take down Irene, beat her up from top position, and just control the fight that way. I'm not saying Amanda can't strike with her, because she probably can. Most definitely she can. But I think the safest route to victory is the route you want to take 9 times out of 10. And I think that her wrestling and her control game is going to win her this fight. That's what I got for UFC 289, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know who you guys think is going to win these fights. I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all.